to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
It's Ebro in the Morning. You got Laura Stiles, you got Rosenberg, and the Godson has stepped in the building. Queens native. There he is.
Esco.
Nas.
What's up, family?
Yo, man, we blessed, man. First things first, you look happy. You look incredible. Tell us what's going on with you. How you feeling out here, man?
I mean, I feel great. I mean, you have to. If you don't, you're gonna, everything's it's not gonna be right for you. You gotta stick through it. You gotta, power through all of this and just keep your mind clear and focused, man. So I'm all right. How you feeling? How y'all feeling?
Man, we're blessed. We're blessed, man. We
man.
healthy. Everybody's healthy. We locked in every day. I mean, now let me ask you this. Has this, you've been a focused individual and working since, 17, 18 years old in this game. And, there's highs and lows in the game, but has this most recent global pandemic caused you to go to a different level of focus?
Not at first. At first, I was just as lost as anybody else, as far as trying to figure out, when everything just started shutting down. It's like, wow, we're living through our own influenza. It's like, is this really happening? But, as time went on, you just pick up the pieces and you keep building, because we're probably going through the worst, we're definitely going through the worst economic crisis that we've ever seen. And people are like trying to figure it out. So, we have to stick to what we do. We have to stick to what we do and just wish for the best.
Let's go back. April 94, you're 17 years old. Illmatic is a huge deal.
Sorry to cut you off. I was, April 94, I was
20 already?
I was 19 going on 20.
So
right?
You're 19. I think that sounds right. I woke up early on my born day. I'm 20. It's a blessing. So yeah, there you go. So you're 19, 20 years old, and was there any part of you that thought about rapping 26 years later, and that this culture would continue to grow, and you would one day be performing as a legacy act, like the Rolling Stones, like an icon? Did you ever think about this stage in your career when you were young?
I thought about the possibility of everybody in rap growing to, or just sticking around for years, because it wasn't really there yet. I didn't see it happening, but I knew it would happen for everybody, but I didn't think I would be. I didn't think me like that. I thought like everybody, but I just hope that everybody would get to that type of status that you talked about. But at the time, that wasn't happening, not at all. I was trying to just, at that point, get out the hood and just stay out the hood, try to not go back. And it was nothing promised, So that's just a long way saying yes and no.
Yeah, it was like you knew the possibilities were there, unsure of how it was actually going to happen.
We never seen it. I mean, I remember thinking, I was thinking about this recently, Nas. I was thinking about how at the time when KRS dropped Return of the Boom Bap, which is in my opinion, one of his best albums, at the time, I considered that, Ebro, I don't know about you, I thought of that as like a senior album, like one of his later works.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was only, when you think about it, 7 years into his career. He was still a kid when he dropped that. And same with you, like albums that we considered to be sort of later into your career, we think about it now relatively to other artists and other genres, you were a baby.
Crazy. And my first thing I did live at the barbecue with Main Source, shout out to Large Professor, was 1990.
Yep.
So I got a 30 clip in this game. And I didn't realize that till he told me it was 1990. And I thought it was 91. I was always saying 91. He said, bro, it's 1990. And then they had an anniversary this year, and somebody sent me it, and it said 1990. So I said, damn, it's a whole 30 clip in here that I've been around. And you know, you wouldn't think about it. And with KRS-One drop Boom Bap, he was like coming back. He was coming for hip hop. Like, let's get this thing right. Let's get this thing on course.
Right.
Let's get this thing back to the boom bap. And it wasn't commercially probably one of his most biggest ones, but that's even better because it was really for the culture. And people probably looking at the commercial side of things, but when you look back on it, you know, it's crazy to think about it. Like, we thought those were like senior albums.
Right.
You know, ready.
He was younger than J. Cole. He was younger than J. Cole and Kendrick right now, and those cats.
That's insane.
Now, go ahead, Laura.
We've seen you just celebrate, and we've celebrated. Listen, anytime there's an Illmatic celebration and any milestone, we're like, man, we feel like Nas has done it all, right? So, in speaking of King's Disease, where's your focus at? Because it's like, do you rap for the new audience, or do you keep them in mind? Because when I've gone to your shows, we see everyone from the OGs, from 18-year-old kids. Like, you have one of the most diverse audiences that I've ever seen when I've attended a show. So how do you prepare for your new music? Because you've always stayed super consistent. And sometimes I even wonder, like, do you even listen to new artists? Do you listen to what's going on right now, or do you stay in your lane?
I do think about the whole art form, young rappers. I like to see what's happening. I like to see all of them. That's why I like Dirk, and he's on King's Disease album. Shout out to Lil Dirk, and all the other younger artists I work with on the album, because I appreciate what they're doing. I appreciate their voice. I love what they're doing. We're in different age groups, generational gaps, kind of like, right. But we're still rocking the same art form, and I think we all can respect each other. So it's just a few that I hear here and there that I want to play that again. That was Dirk. That was a few others that's out there that I've been hearing. And I'm
Look, you got Fivio and Ferg on the album too.
Shout to Fivio and Ferg. Salute. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to tap in. With the young voices in a way that's like, it's still organic. It's like, we love this art form. We like what each other does, and we just rock. It just worked out.
You talked about persevering and navigating the game and lasting. It's kind of what we just were covering.
Yeah.
But you've always made timeless music also. You've never, there were times there, where you chased radio or you chased charts and things like that. When did it click for you that Nas, the artist, the rapper, this is about being timeless and making sure that I'm a part of this culture for a long period of time? When did that kind of understanding of the game click for you?
From the beginning, Ebro, because as a fan, I was just a fan. So, it was like Big said, it was all a dream. So I just wanted to get in the game. And, my first record, it starts with the Wild Style movie. I know kids don't know what Wild Style is. Go check that out. It's a hip hop.
Classic. A necessary hip hop viewing.
Right.
Yeah. And just starting the album off with that was kind of my message that, I really love this. I really want to represent the realness of it. So I think from the beginning, but as time went on, like you say, we on the charts, we're watching what's happening in the industry and moving with the industry, and you don't want to, become something that of the past. So you do watch what's going on, but not too much, because I didn't get in this to become mainstream. I didn't get it. I got in this to do it all. I got in this to be mainstream and beyond that, but I didn't get in this just for that. I got in this to continue the wild style.
So, well, I want to, take a little time. Look, Nas got a new album out, y'all. Go get it. It's called King's Disease. I want us to learn about why that title was done by you. But before we get to that, I kind of want to ask some kind of like rumors that you hear about Nas in hip hop, right? Like, true or false? And did you see the Roxanne Chante movie on Netflix?
Yes.
At the end, they show a young Nas rapping. Like, what was that relationship for real? At that time in your life, Roxanne Chante, Biz Markie, Nas, MC Shan Queens. Like, who were you? And is that a true kind of showing in the movie?
I'm from a projects that's really like Emerald City from the Wiz, bro. It's Roxanne Chante was a young teenage girl who had heart because she would just be out in the projects hanging, and I would see her, and we heard about her. And she was like a hood star at first, you just hear about her, and then we would see her. And she heard me doing some little rhymes, and she was interested, and she was like, yo, I want you to participate with something. I want you to do some stuff. I want you to work on your craft, and when I see you again, have it together. And there was something that she left out before it was actually in the movie. She said, she saw me and I didn't have it together, and she said, next time I see you, and you don't have it together, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yo, so that was real.
100% real.
All right.
1,000% real. And I believed her. I'm younger than her, and she wasn't soft. So, I try to low key avoid her because I didn't want to deal with the, not having my rhyme ready because I wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't ready. But what she did was spark something in me that really made me want to take it serious. And she is one of the reasons that I really thought it was possible, that it could even happen. Like this is a female where female MCs wasn't really looked at in the right way back then. She had lyrics in that song that I hear the toughest guys, the 5%ers and stuff, they was mad at the line that she had because it was like they didn't even want a woman to even have that kind of language back to a man. That's how society was. They didn't even want her. The Roxanne Revenge record in itself was a stance of woman empowerment, early on. So salute to Chante, Roxanne Chante. She's the reason why a lot of this is happening today.
Another thing I heard real quick.
I have one too.
Is it true that you and Pac once crossed paths in Central Park during when things were really heated? And what's the real Pac Nas relationship? What was it?
I mean, we would see each other in passing, really, and it was brotherly. It was brotherly. And I heard Snoop told the story a few times, but he had it wrong a little bit. He had said that Pac stepped to me, and rest in peace, Pac. But, he was in New York and there was a lot of tension flaring, right? And nobody was really there. And I think he had got into it with Jungle, my brother, at the award show. I seen him backstage. I'm like, do your thing. He's like, and you do yours. I said, see, I know it's some funny, you know what I'm saying?
It was one of those like side out the neck joint, like and you do yours, my G.
Yeah, he was about to go present an award, so he really couldn't turn around and get with me and talk to me, but because he's about to walk on. But I'm walking backstage and I see him and I'm like, yo, all right, do your thing. He's like, and you do yours, because he knew where I was coming from really wasn't an all love place, because there was a rumor of Machiavelli coming out. And so I was really want to check the temperature with him. And but it turned up. My brother and them, they seen them in Outlaws, and shout out to the Outlaws, man. And they had some words or whatever. So we went to this is an old story, man. So at that point, it was necessary for us to address the situation, because they was in the city, and we had to step to our business.
And so there was a little bit of tension for real in real life. It wasn't just a rumor. It was a
lot of tension. It was a lot of tension. They was in New York, and it was, their chest was out. They was doing their thing, death row signs. So we had to go and step to them.
And was there a real conversation between you two that quelled it?
Oh yeah. We had a great convo, man. He was like, he explained that he thought I was dissing him, and he thought, and not on the song The Message. You know what I'm saying? He thought I was dissing him, and I heard that he was dissing me at clubs. And
straight out of the gate, he thought the fake thugs, no love, right? The first line of The Message? Wow, I never even knew that was a thing.
Wow.
Last person I was even thinking about when I wrote that record, just right, I was just going. You know what I'm saying? It was just going at everybody. You know, just coming. So he thought that, and then I was like, well, I heard you was coming at me. I said, no, that wasn't about you, but I heard you was coming at me, and, you know, back and forth. And it was like, yo, Nas, we brothers, man. We're not supposed to go through this. And I was like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so we had a plan to squash it in Vegas. So I was out there when he was in the hospital, and praying for him to come through. But, you know, rest in peace to Pop. Yeah, that was a moment, man. Many moons ago, man. Many moons ago.
Thanks for sharing that.
We had to step to him for New York, you know, because they was in the town. We couldn't let that happen. It was only right, you know.
I've had conversations with Salam Remy in the past, and I'm a huge Amy Winehouse fan. So is it true that there's some Amy Winehouse Nas records that haven't seen the light yet? And I was wondering if you could share some moments with you and Amy, because I know you guys had a special relationship.
Salam has music on me that I forgot I did. He reminds me and plays me verses of stuff that I didn't even remember doing. So he played me some Amy stuff, and he talks in codes, and I'm his man. And he talks to me in codes about it. And I just say, when it's time, he'll present it to me. And me and Amy, we shared the same birthday. And she's rest in peace, Amy. She was just an angel, you know. I met her through Salam, and she made the song "Me and Mr. Jones," which was about going to my concert or something. And that's what really made me go, yo, she really rocks with me like that. And her music, her voice, stellar. Her whole style was, you know, is still mimicked to this day. You know, it's just, she's just a pure spirit, a pure soul, funny, and I miss her.
Yeah, Amy's a one of one.
I guess I'll close it out on the artists that are no longer here, sadly. Your relationship with Prodigy, if you listen to his book or read his book, My Infamous Life, you know, Prodigy had interesting relationships with almost everybody, like ups and downs with everybody. People were close. Then there's moments where things weren't good. And I think he even seemed to understand a lot of that is because, you know, he was wilding for a long time. How would you describe your relationship over time with P, the ins and the outs, and where did it land at the end after jail before we lost him?
Wow. P, rest in peace, Prodigy. I always looked at them as the illest group ever. Shout out to Havoc. I always looked at them like they're a pure, hardcore, like everything about them, the way they were, the way you saw it, the way they looked, the crew they was with, just, it was a lot of wildness. It was, but P had a real cool demeanor. He's very intelligent, and his talent was crazy. And I thought that in the beginning, there was always them putting them against us, against me, so in subtle ways in the hip hop press back then, or they would write things about them and compare them to me a little bit. And I don't think Prodigy liked it because he's his own voice. And at the time, his crew and my guys, we was from the same neighborhood, but they was going to war. And that probably added to the tension. They were in the streets while we were making it off into music. And, you know, they was going to war. So, we never got around that much to squashing all the beefs all the time. In the hood, they would go at it. Out of town, we was all together. When we in the city, when the club, everybody got each other back. Back in the projects, it's back to doing what they do. And we were, especially myself, I was just happy to get off the block and just in the nick of time. So we had that QB on our back. And Prodigy is a super saluted general representing QB, but there was tensions along the way because regular rap tensions. And I never wanted no issues with Mobb Deep. I never had issues with Mobb Deep. Havoc, I was in kindergarten with.
Oh, really?
You know, Havoc was a superstar when he was 7, 6. Havoc just had this glow about him. And but P, I wish he was still here. I didn't like what I was hearing about the book, but that's his journey. I can't speak on that. That's what he was doing, and may he rest in peace. We squashed things though before. When he came home from jail, first thing he did was call me like, "Yo, love you, bro," and he was ready to get back to it. And he came to Mass Appeal, came to the office a few times. We were starting to produce a talk show with Prodigy. He had interviewed Rick Ross and everything up at Mass Appeal, and we were looking forward to like making things a whole lot better and moving forward.
Nas, you have become more than just music. Your ventures, your business ventures, have been storied in the press. I'd love to hear, for young people who are learning the game, and people like yourself, Hove, you guys have made the runway very long, and built out some blueprints and plans for people who are paying attention to study and follow. Who helped you see the other ventures, and talk about that discovery and how it's helped you grow, in more than just financially, but grow as a human?
I think I got to a point where I matured more and I wanted something more. After a few years of music, it just hit me in the face. It was just like, yo, you are supposed to be a part of diversifying corporate America. You are putting this. I put myself in a position musically to have a platform where I could talk to more people, talk to different people. I have the same interests that lots of good people in Wall Street have, if there are any. I have some of those interests. So my business partner, Anthony Soleil, he's a lot younger than me, but the reason we're friends, partners, brothers is because he knew that was the direction I wanted to go into. And Steve Stout had these dinners, like the meetings of the minds, these dinners with, cool people, the guy who created MTV, the guy, Soledad O'Brien, Fab Five Freddy, and Ben Horowitz, this cool Jewish cat, this hip hop cool dude from the Bay Area. And we hit it off just about food and life. And at some point, I started asking them questions. And next thing you know, I'm in Silicon Valley taking meetings, 8 a.m. meetings all day long, and started investing and stuff like that. So I think it's important that we use our platforms, whatever it may be. Not everybody's in music. It's about being around people that are trying to do the right things, learning from them, writing down your notes, trying to make sure you see progress every day, moving towards your goals. If it's not moving, you have to get around different people. You have to move around. But I took advantage of that time in my life where I was like, okay, what's next? Because at first it was just really music for me. It was just, I didn't want anything else.
Right.
I tried record companies back in the days, but I was out of control. I couldn't do it. I was just signing my brother and a bunch of guys, and but the older I got, the more serious I got.
You are Mass Appeal you're a part of that org as like a executive. Correct? How has that helped you stay in tune with youth culture and hip hop in general? How is that team over there and just working constantly to find avenues for the next creatives really improved you?
Well, I mean, I was always trying to like push everybody around me to do the most they can do, and if I can help, I would, do that. But with Mass Appeal, I'm able to do it even more because it's like the record label component of it is probably like 5-6 years old, and I think we're still just getting it going with that. We're still ironing out the creases with that. With dope artists that we had a record out with Run the Jewels that was really successful. Yeah, and shout out to DJ Shadow, and shout out to Dave East and his new album Karma 3 that's on fire. Yeah. Fashion out and from Fresno, California, and a lot of deals with some what you would call legacy artists too that we're working on their music to come out. So I just wanted to be there as someone that owns a piece of the culture, because it's in the hands of so many people that don't care about it. So I felt like I had to be a part of a movement that was more than Mass Appeal doesn't just do hip hop. It's a lot of different things, but I had to be a part of the movement. Had to be a part of it.
The new album King's Disease. Why is that the title, bro? Well, King's Disease.
Because most of us want to be kings and don't realize what that entails or don't realize what comes with it. And what comes with it is a lot of things. But one of the things that was interesting to me was that you can hurt yourself as a king. You're doing too much. You bring the things that come with the game of being a king that can hurt you. You bring it in yourself. King's disease is what? Gout. King's disease is too much wine, too much sushi, too much living high, rich foods, too much doing the most. And it was like in this stillness that I've been just dealing with. It's like the title came before COVID was really huge. It had nothing to do with COVID, but it just worked in there. And it was just about, it means multiple things, but mostly is about take care of yourself, because being a king is not roses and it's going to be hard work. It's telling the little kids, like on the album cover, it's like a little kid picking up the crown. It's like, be ready for this, because a lot comes with life. And if you want to be the best you can be, it doesn't stop with success. It's coming at you full speed ahead all times. Life is coming at you.
In the new album, you have a song called Full Circle. And it was really exciting for all of us to see, the firm getting back together. What was that conversation like? Like, when did you decide, like, this is it? This is a perfect record. It's going to be on this new album. And did you guys record it all together, or how did that work?
I was working, and I felt like I needed a joint with AZ because he's working on his new record. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect time to just have stuff together. So I asked him to jump on a record. And at that point, my man G Code, who's a producer on the album, he was like, yo, why don't you get Cormega and Foxy Brown? I said, I didn't speak to those two in years.
Right.
And I was like, well, you got their number? You know what I'm saying? Mega is a brother of mine who we had differences because he had just came home and I was on fire. And of course, that's my man. So I'm like, let's go. But he still had a street mentality. He wanted to attack everything moving. And he told me, we spoke, right? Because he said, I told him, yo, I'm not son from the block no more. He said, yo, that didn't dawn on me till years later. And he was telling me a lot of things that I was telling him at the time was so on point, but he was fresh from jail. He was back home on his Goodfellas stuff. He was back on this. What are you doing? Why are you going home? What are you chilling for? Let's go get active. And I was like, yo, chill, bro. And he wasn't trying to hear that. So we fell out, and I hated that because we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? And we spoke, man. It was beautiful because we love each other. And we were at such odds that it was dark, it was bad. And I hate that. And so we got easy like a couple of years ago, but we lost touch. So the conversation we had was incredible. And you know, Mega is wild. I call him, yo, what's up, man? Been a long time. He's like, that's your fault.
Yeah, Mega doesn't bite his tongue at all.
No, not at all, not at all. But it was incredible. And then speaking to Inga, you know, I forgot how genius. I don't know. I didn't forget how genius, but it came back to me how brilliant Foxy Brown is. Like all her albums, she was rhyming with giants.
Yeah.
She was rhyming with giants, going hard. You know, every album. And I'm like, just talking to her, all the stuff that she's saying, and she has a daughter, a beautiful daughter now, baby C. And it was very emotional just talking to everybody on the phone because it's been mad long. And plus what we're going through right now is like, I can't see them right now, you know what I mean? So it's like, we had to do the record. Everybody was down and I appreciate it. They all killed it. AZ went bananas. Cormega's dropping jewels. Foxy just beasted us out and she just represents empowerment. We're talking about what we're talking about and she comes in there and just slays it as the strong, powerful woman that she is, that we bow down to her as the queen of the firm and of hip hop. So we're just starting. We're just beginning to this love affair again. So it just came full circle.
So when you look back on that, you know, Affirmative Action, you know, you could argue it's the best record on the second album. It's right there. It's an incredible song, and everyone loved it. And there was so much hype around the firm, and I think we'd be disingenuous to say that the hype matched what the album was. You know, it generally was, people fucked with it, but it was disappointing in some regards. How do you view that firm album, and is there a little bit of you that would, like to make up for it, sort of, and get it right?
Can't change the past. Can't predict the future. We just want to be. And the first record was supposed to be all Dre, but me and Steve Stout managing me and him also managing the track masters at the time, they was the crew. So I kind of like, you know, they're like, yo, they wanted to be on the album. So I wanted them too, because at the time it was a family thing, but I really wanted Dre to produce the whole album. And I think once Dre saw all the managers in the room, like we was talking the other day, he said the managers had assistants and the managers' assistants.
Too many people. It's too many cooks. Dre out. Dre's like, yeah.
Dre like, yo, man, get everybody out of here. And I think that was, I think that's what really like kept us from really having that focus.
And then when you look at it, it's so funny. And I say this with all due respect to Poke and Tone, like Trap Masters, they had great joints for you around that time. But if you compare the two singles, Firm Biz and fucking Phone Tap, you see just how divergent the ideas were for the sound of the Firm. And all due respect, but Firm Biz was whatever, and Phone Tap's a classic.
Yo, Tone's my man. I hated Firm Biz.
Firm Biz wasn't it. It wasn't it. It wasn't
hated that shit. Straight up. No, so Nas,
Yo, just came Biz was all right, man. The video was fine.
It was all right.
Yo, so Nas, the putting out music seems a lot. It seems you've hit a new stride in putting out music, and collaborating, and where you are right now. What has freed you? Has something freed you up musically? Has something happened? Is there just less pressure? Am I seeing it right, or am I reading that wrong?
I think you're right. I think that's right. I think because everybody's sitting down when with not much to do, you can sit down and you can make your music right. But I mean, I was working on this before everything shut down, and that's why some of the content I mentioned things that happened months ago, because that's when I recorded it, and so I shut it down and had nothing to do. And I didn't want to put out an album. I didn't want to be outside. I didn't want people to look at me like I want their attention. I didn't want any focus on me on the stage, on music, nothing. But the team that was with me, Hit Boy, man, I didn't even shout out Hit Boy. I'm crazy. Shout out to Hit Boy for making the time to sit with me, and we didn't plan an album. I just went to him for a beat, and we just had so much fun. So, you know, these guys were like, yo, you know, what are we doing? It's been, you know, you're not gonna finish the record. I'm like, I don't feel it. And then after a while, I just started, you know, plugging the mic up and just started finishing songs, and then then we just did it. So I feel like I'm in a good place because I feel good to be where I'm at, and it's, you know, saying like in 2020, and to do what many have not been able to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, many have not been able to do it, and that's a place that I don't take for granted. I'm in a place that I don't take for granted. I'm very grateful to be in a position that I'm in. A lot of my heroes, their stuff stopped, like earlier in their careers, and I've been fortunate, man. So I'm in a special place in my life where I'm at a place where I don't see many people at. I look around and I don't really see nobody, probably few people, you know. So I really appreciate that, and this is a moment for me.
Do you think it also helps getting to have you've had your whole career with a classic under your belt? We always sit around waiting for people. When are they going to drop your classic?
Yeah, you had it out the gate.
Yeah, you have that. Is there a certain level of freedom that you knew no matter what, you had that classic sitting there?
No, because, well, yeah, of course, yeah, that was a good thing, but the real thing was everybody kept saying, make another one.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
nah, this
right.
You know, make another one. Nah, this ain't Illmatic, this ain't, and that became the thing, you know. But I'm like, what? Illmatic, it was written. I Am, Nostradamus. People hated on that, but it's all good. Stillmatic. I came with so many records after, and it was still screaming Illmatic. I liked it, but then it was also a little annoying.
Yeah.
So real quick, while we have your brain right there, have you ever ranked your albums before? We're all assuming Illmatic would be in the #1 slot, but have you ever thought about, okay, here's my top 5 or top, you know, of my albums in my order?
Illmatic is just different. It's something when you put it on. It's something in there. It's like a whole thing in there. It's like, but I like I Am. I like It Was Written. I like God's Son.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stillmatic too.
Stillmatic too.
Yes, Stillmatic. Life Is Good. I don't rank them. I don't listen to them. I don't know. I don't know what to say about them. I don't even know what songs on them. I don't know the track listing. I know, like, Illmatic, I can remember every song, but every other album, I don't know what songs on what.
What'd you think about when on Purple Tape when Ray and Ghost brought up your name in context of the whole big shit, and they were like, "And spit off a Nas shit." Whoa, were you sitting there like, "Whoa"? Did you have any thoughts on that at the time?
You're talking about Shark Biters, right?
Yeah, on Shark Biters.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I love Ghost and Ray. Damn, I love them for saying that, because it was what they were saying in the streets. They was comparing me and Big and the album covers, you know. So when they said it, it kind of immortalized it in a way. And it was like, that's my brothers for saying that. Nothing against Big, but just for them to say, niggas bit off Nas. I'm like, wow, this is Ray and Ghost saying another giant. The conversation to me was like mind blowing, because I was good with Big and I was good with Ray and Ghost. So they were all my guys, and I all wanted us all to get along. And but at the moment it was fiery. We were just all leaving the streets. So it was like we're in the rap game talking about each other's albums. What's going on? That to me, I was just like, wow.
It's so meta.
Crazy. Because Big was like, yo, watch them dudes, man. Our hands, they doing it like you. They saying what you say. And they were telling me, yo, Big he taking some stuff from you, bro. He saying this, that you, and I'm sitting here like, but I'm taking from all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was just a beautiful time. In retrospect, it was a beautiful time. At the time, it was tension. It could have been beef, like all the way to the Source Awards. You know, you got Suge Knight saying what he said, but you don't know, an audience was like, it was about to be a war between Wu. They didn't let me in because my crew was too wild, so I got banned from everything in the 90s. My crew was way too wild. So they only gave me 5 tickets. That's how they did me. Biggie had like 30 tickets. Death Row had like 30 tickets. Wu-Tang had like 30 tickets. They said, you can only get 5. And by the way, I just got bailed out of jail. I just got out of jail that morning for a gun charge. And I'm in there with the clothes, I think that I spent the night in the bookings with. I'm in the Source Awards there. Yeah, and I'm like, they only allowed me, so I was mad, and they only allowed me in with 5 tickets because they thought my crew was gonna there would have been no Source Awards, and they were probably right. They were probably right. Back then, I was getting banned left and right from places. God, thank God, man. Thank God. I'm here, man.
Yo, Nas, you made it, brother, and we just want to say we love you.
We made it.
We made it. Yes, we made it, and yo, the game appreciates you. Hip hop appreciates you. You know, you have given us all, you know, through your music. You've given so much of yourselves, and this new King's Disease. Everybody go cop it. Let's celebrate Nas. New project out right now. Some amazing collaborations, some amazing production. It's great to see you shining.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Peace, y'all.
All right,
Nas.